Welcome to On the Wild Side. I'm your host, Kyle Shepard. We're going to be meeting our newest additions today. We're going to talk about a fun seasonal attraction and finally a way that you can come behind the scenes to the Louisville Zoo. Let's go take a walk on the wild side. We're here at the giraffe yard with our general curator, Ron Evans, who is going to tell us a little bit about the newest addition to the giraffe yard, bringing our herd to 4 now.
We're really excited to let everybody know we have a new young female giraffe. Her name is Josie. Josie was born at the Louisville Zoo and just transferred here a couple of months ago. Over the past month or so while she's been here, we've been getting her used to the building behind the scenes and used to the other giraffe, Bariti and Kianga, and our little junior giraffe, Nyasi, all got the chance to meet Josie behind the scenes before we finally put them all together outside in the habitat.
And that's pretty typical. Our new animals come in for a quarantine period. Tell us about that and just how the acclimation works.
Sure. So anytime you bring in a new animal, you just want to make sure they're not bringing in any different cooties to the animals that you have here already. So you usually do about a 30-day quarantine period where the vets do some checkups on them. We check fecal samples to make sure everything's looking good. We make sure they're eating well. And you just want to make sure they're in really good shape before they start to meet their new buddies.
So tell us about the cooperative management program that we have with our governing body, the Association of Zoos and Aquariums.
Sure. So no zoo's an island, right? So we all depend on each other. Zoos accredited by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. That's really high standards to meet. Really tough. There's about 300 zoos in North America that are part of AZA. And part of that accreditation standard is an agreement that we're all going to cooperate to take care of each one of these species as best we can. We don't buy or sell animals between us. It's all based on what's best for the animal's social needs, what's best for the genetics of the population, because zoos don't accept most animals at all from the wild anymore. So we have to be real smart and very cooperative on how we manage our animals together. So through the Giraffe Species Survival Plan, or SSP, we were recommended to receive Josie to join our giraffes with a future breeding recommendation with Bariti.
Excellent. So we could have another little Nyasi soon, maybe?
Well, 15 months at the soonest, but Josie's not quite up to breeding age. At 2 years old, it'll take her another couple of years before her body starts to kick in to where she can actually conceive.
Excellent. So if people are coming to the zoo, now we have 4, and Kianga and Josie are both females. Of course, Bariti is easy because he's the biggest. And right now, Nyasi is kind of smaller.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to tell Kianga and Josie apart, give us some tips.
Kianga's taller than Josie for the moment, but Josie is rapidly growing. So Josie has kind of a lighter tone to her in general. She kind of has some, like, what we're calling freckles on her face and on her head, but and Kianga has definitely a darker appearance to her. But for right now, if you come to the zoo soon and come and enjoy our giraffes, it's clearly a row of giraffes. You have Bariti, then you have Kianga, you have Josie, and then you have Nyasi, kind of size-wise. But also, Josie's a very block-shaped giraffe, I think. If you look at Kianga, she's very slender and tall. And Josie's got a nice squareness to her, so that's another way you could tell Josie apart from Kianga. We estimate that Josie's going to probably be a bit taller than Kianga when she's full grown.
Excellent. Is Kianga full grown?
Kianga is full grown. Of course, she's a mother. So, yes, at her age, 6, 7 years old, female giraffes are fully grown. So are males at that age. So the other 2 are full-grown adults. And Josie's kind of a teenager, even though she's 2 years old. In giraffe years, that's like teenage years.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, no. I mean, once again, Louisville Zoo is very proud. Giraffes have been part of our zoo since we opened. It's a really gorgeous giraffe habitat. Even though it's an original fixture here at the Louisville Zoo, it was really well designed many years ago. So you get a good vista, you look through, you see the lions, you see the zebras as you look through the watering hole in the foreground and on through. It's a nice big space outside for our 4 giraffes.
Excellent, excellent. Well, come check Josie and Kianga and Baridi and Nyasi out here at the Louisville Zoo. So when a new animal like Josie comes to the zoo, our registrar, who we're going to meet next, will help her integrate into the zoo.
I am the liaison between the zoo and the government entities for federal, state, and local regarding animals. All animals that come in are accessioned into the collection and are given numbers. These are our ledgers that we use and literally record every animal that's come through that's been owned by the zoo. And that was our first. It's all in here. So these are like really invaluable. And I do still keep these because that way we make sure we don't give duplicate local numbers to anything. My average day is I come in and I do daily reports from the previous day, and then I send those out to the curators so that they can see, approve, make sure everything is on that report that should have been. I've been here 29 years. If you have a love of animals, this is the only place you're going to get to raise a giraffe. I've been fortunate and raised 5, hand raised. Give me just a minute to run the report, okay? Over on your left, you have a bunch of icons. Part of my job is to train new keepers on using the database. We're going to make an enclosure list instead. When I first started, I entered all the data, but we've moved to having the keepers enter their data, and then I just check it. If they have questions, I'm here and can answer them and work through it. I was a keeper for 22 years before I became the registrar, and that is extremely helpful in the registrar job because you understand the language, because there is a language that's unto itself, especially regarding training and enrichment of the animals. Maintain all of the data, make sure the data is current and accurate. I was quite blessed to be able to work in a career that I love and with absolutely terrific creatures that, you just don't see every day.
We have a program called the Backstage Pass, and it's an opportunity for guests to come and learn about our conservation programs and meet an animal and go into an animal area and get to have an experience with them. Most of the tours are for ages 6 and up. We do get a wide variety of people. Sometimes we'll get adults that just want to come on a date, or we'll get families, and it really depends on the time of year. Over the summer, we get a few more kids. But we do get a nice variety of people.
Most of our animals up here are going to be moving around, and we're going to change what they're eating. So a lion, for instance, is only successful about once a week at getting food.
There are different animal areas that a guest can opt to go to. So we have experiences with our rhinos, our red pandas, our sloths, our penguins, and our seals and sea lions.
So if you guys are ready, let's go.
So they choose an animal area that they want to go to. They're offered different days of the week. So we do a different Backstage Pass experience just about every day of the week. And then the guests will purchase the ticket, go to that area, meet those keepers, and then get to have an experience. Sometimes they'll get to visit a second area. A lot of our groups visit our Black-footed Ferret Conservation Center so they can learn about the conservation programs that we're involved in.
A lot of times people are like, oh my gosh, is that for the tigers? Not usually.
Some of our groups visit our commissary so they can actually be involved in some of the diet prep and learn about some of the ways that the keepers take care of our animals. We had a lot of interest in having more experiences like that, and so over the last couple of years we've really expanded it to include other animal areas, and we'll continue to include other animal areas. So we have some seasonal animals that may come in for a short amount of months, like our Aldabra tortoises, and some of the other ones are offered year-round. We've got a lot of great feedback from guests. They love the opportunity to get up close with the animals, as it's pretty special. If they're getting to make enrichment for our sloths, or they're getting to make the food mash for the red pandas, it's just a unique opportunity to give people that really up close opportunity to learn about our animals in a unique and different way. The purpose of the program is to teach people about our animals, but it's also a great opportunity for the animals because we're going to be doing enrichment for them every single time that we go and visit. So the animals have learned that at this time of day, this is something that their keepers will do with them that is a fun thing. They get their extra special treats, or they'll get to do behavior and opportunity or something that they really, really enjoy. So we save those opportunities and experiences for when the guests will be there to make it special for them and also make it special for the animals. All the information is on our website. We'll continue to add more, so hopefully people will come out and join us.
This is Mom. So we recently bred our Bear's poachards, which are a critically endangered species of waterfowl from Eastern Asia. They produce 2 chicks, 2 ducklings. So this is the male, that's the female. They're almost fully grown now. They're still putting in their wing feathers, growing them out. They are from Eastern Asia, occurring from southern Russia through China, all the way down to Myanmar, even occurring on some of the islands on the eastern part of Asia like Japan. They're migratory, so they can withstand really cold temperatures. We actually have them out year-round here at the zoo. Generally travel north up into northern China or southern Russia to breed, and then in the summer they travel to southern China and parts of Myanmar and stuff in order to overwinter. We're not really sure all the problems facing them in the wild. Habitat destruction, conversion into agriculture, and some other things that we don't really know because they live in such an odd part of the world where we don't have a lot of information as to what's going on with them. But we do know their populations have decreased dramatically. So it is good that we do have a population that we are breeding and propagating here in zoos and aquariums. These poachards, like every other duck species, they are precocial. That is also like chickens you may be familiar with. In terms of what precocial means is that when they hatch out, they're really ready to go. Like they don't need a ton of care from their parents. Yeah, they're very active as chicks or ducklings. Mom will brood them when they get out of the water. She'll show them how to eat, but she doesn't really need to feed them. They'll start mimicking what the parents are doing right away. So they'll see her eating, vegetation, plants, and what we feed them here in captivity consists of like pellets, greens, some insects, and they'll just really mimic that. They know how to eat, they know how to swim right away, they can walk as well. So they're well feathered as opposed to an altricial bird species, which are usually very naked without any feathers, their eyes are closed, and they're really dependent on their parents to take care of them. There are only maybe 200 to 500 of them left in the wild. So that's not a lot. They're one of the most endangered duck species in the world. Here at the zoo, we have a managed population amongst other zoos and aquariums. There's about 20 other institutions that hold the species. And this is the first time for us to actually have bred them. The males are a little more distinguishable than the females in that the males have a white eye. Their plumage is a little brighter, and it's a very iridescent plumage that you might not notice until the sun is shining on them. But the females are a more drab color. The young chicks right now, they look more like mom at the moment. Of the 2 chicks, one is female and one is male. So we'll see the male coloration come in over the next year and a half or so. They can cohabitate with other species of birds. We also have another waterfowl species, the red-breasted goose. They live in here as well. We also have Cabot's tragopans, which are in the pheasant family. And a passerine that lives in this aviary are the azure-winged magpies. And they're actually nesting right now as well. So we're hopeful they'll hatch out chicks in late summer. Our focus on them here is in human care and maintaining a captive population in case we get to the point of needing to do reintroductions in the wild. And it helps us learn their husbandry, their care, how to propagate the species, and what we need to do in order to form a reservoir for the birds in terms of their genetic potential and having that what-if population in case they continue to crash in the wild. Here in North America, we have about 90 individuals across 20 different institutions. So any breeding that we can do is really going to help out the population in terms of what we have here in human care. So they can have a clutch up to a dozen or more eggs at a time. We're hopeful next year they'll probably even raise more.
The dinosaurs have invaded the Louisville Zoo. They are back. We are taking our time machine back 250 million years ago to visit these new 23 animatronic dinosaurs. free with admission. They're here at the zoo through September 1.
A woman with her kids came by and said, "Oh, the docents are here. I love the docents." And that makes you feel good.
We are celebrating our 50th anniversary of the docent program, and we couldn't be more excited.
I'm a docent and volunteer educator, and in that role I do quite a few different things. I was looking for some place to go after retirement, and I decided that the zoo had animals, they had people, both things I liked. So I signed up for a class and really enjoyed it.
Those are my total hours, and these are my education hours. It's really a great experience. Good morning.
50 years now. They've been an organization, and so we're super proud of them. Every single one of them are just amazing. It's hard to beat free work, and especially at the level that they provide to us.
We have a couple of females, but I don't know that they're actually out today. I'm 77, and I love doing this. This has been one of the highlights of my life. I'm just going to tell you the truth.
It's a lot of face-to-face with our docents and our public and our visitors, and we love that because they're really shining stars for us.
We've got the best, most spectacular contingent of volunteer workers you would ever hope to meet anywhere, bar none.
So if you guys ever touched orangutan hair, I do a lot of interpretations, and I do kind of help in a committee that takes care of the biofacts. I belong to a drumming group that Fred started. That's Wild Beats. And I also do work up at the Conservation Center with the ferrets, the black-footed ferret that is an animal whom we are reintroducing into the wild.
They have to go through at least a 6-week program for educational purposes, so they learn a lot of information, material, how to talk to people, some things about the animals, history of zoos, history of conservation. So they do quite a bit of intensive learning for about 6 weeks, and then they work on some interpretation skills with mentors.
She's maybe waiting until somebody...
He moves out of the way.
Yes.
They do it with compassion. They do it with everything. They do it with fun and enthusiasm. And then they sprinkle in their own individual magic because they all have their own individual, personalities and ways of doing things.
Whenever you're going to actually interpret about an animal, you're going to sort of read up about them before you come out. Even though you know some things about them, you don't know everything. You can't. I mean, I can't. But we also run like a little short class, little mini class as we're doing it, talking about...
One thing we do is to what's called interpret, which we take biofacts out, show them to the public as they come by. So that's a lot of fun, and getting them to understand those things gives the people more appreciation of the animals. And if they have more appreciation of animals, to be more in line with what we believe is very helpful for the planet.
And they can give you amazing information. They can tell you stories. They can tell you about the animals and the keepers' work.
The different lengths of the beaks and what birds eat and how the beaks affect what they eat, or what they do with them. Like some birds will preen with them. And I mean, it's just really an interesting little thing. And the kids enjoy it because they get to get some tweezers and try to pick up seeds like a bird does. So can you pick that seed up? That's not so easy, is it? Well, the bird has to do that or he's going to starve, so.
It's brought out different parts of my personality that I couldn't use or have.
I think just in the last 6 months, I think the number was something like close to 18,000 people they've talked to. That's just in a small way that they're reaching out to people and talking to them.
Come on over here, sweet girl.
Not only are they our volunteers, but they are our partners here at work. They're our family. They're our friends at this point.
Probably in my whole life, this is the most exciting thing that I've done. And I mean, it really is. I've been to Africa.
Woo-hoo! I like new stuff, and I like to have new experiences, and it makes me feel good and learn a little bit more about life.
I think you'll find a fun family. If you are interested in becoming a docent, you can reach out through the zoo and go to the website.
So come see our newest additions here at the Louisville Zoo. Don't forget to travel back in time 250 million years ago to see our Dinapalooza through September 1. And finally, don't forget to book your backstage pass tour. Thanks for watching the Louisville Zoo's On the Wild Side. We'll see you next time.